Greetings and welcome to the family.
Greetings and welcome back. So today we are continuing our discussion around self-care and the self-care wheel. And we got a lot of questions just around the self-care wheel. And so today we wanted to actually show you the self-care wheel that we completed for this week. But before we do that, in multiple episodes, you've seen me talk about balance and imbalance and unbalance. And so I just want to elaborate a little bit on those concepts. So when I think of imbalance, I'm thinking of something that is too much in one area and too little in the other. And when I'm thinking of unbalance, I'm thinking of something that is a loss of stability, thus falling over. And balance would be something that is of equal parts. And so when we focus on our self-care wheel, you're going to hear me talk about imbalance, unbalance, and balance quite a bit. And it's something that's been resonating with me in my life. And so I just wanted to share those concepts with you. And before we get started, I just want to reintroduce ourselves. I'm Dr. Kamoya.
Greetings, I am Dr. Riaja.
And hello, I'm Dr. Sophronia.
Thank you for that. And so Dr. Riaja is going to start us off talking about her self-care wheel that she completed this week.
So this week, I have the same categories that I had the last time I completed the self-care wheel, and because I focus on whole health or whole person health. And so I'm looking at my health as it relates to physical, mental, spiritual, financial, occupational, relational, emotional health. And what I noticed for this week, the first time that we did this exercise together, I was more of like a oblong or kind of egg-shaped with physical and spiritual kind of being my strongest. This week, I feel like I'm more at a balance with every aspect. So actually, with that being said, I think I was a little less focused on the physical and spiritual because I was stronger in those areas last time that I kind of put my focus towards other things this week. So I feel like in a way that it's okay, you know, to not be at a 10 on everything. But also I want to not lose sight of the things that I've done as far as my self-care is concerned in the past. So I don't want to, what I'm trying to say is I don't want to neglect something that felt like I was doing well in the past to focus on some of those other areas. So hopefully I will become a little more balanced, or as Dr. Kamoya likes to say, the perfect imbalance with regards to some of my self-care areas.
Thank you for sharing, Dr. Riaja. Dr. Sophronia, would you like to describe your self-care wheel?
Yes, thank you so much. So my self-care wheel this week looks very similar to the one that was last week, meaning that I had the same categories, the same sections that was done. When I actually looked at how my feelings are in that area, or where I think I stand in that area, I noticed that it was a little bit different. The wheel on one side of my previous one was fairly round and I was sort of flat on the other side. If you can see from this wheel today, I'm round around a different area, but I'm still flat on one side. So I really was high, or I was really focused on the self-care side last time, and I had a little dip on my nurturing relationship side. So now I see that I've built up those relationships, especially the ones at work, um, and in mentoring. And now I'm rounder on that side. But then my rejuvenation went down a little this week. So I've felt that I've sacrificed a little bit of my refilling, and giving that out to others. If I was in that perfect imbalance, as Dr. Kamoya and Dr. Riaji alluded to, then I would have to try to rejuvenate myself a little bit more so that I can give back out a little bit more. So I'm trying to work on that aspect of myself, is that I can still be there for other people, but I also still need to take time for myself. And I just need to find that time and where I can put that in. So this is the wheel that I have. It's a little bit rounder than the one that was previous. Um, but I do see that dip in that rejuvenation piece that I did not take the time to pour back into myself as I was giving out so much to others this past week.
Thank you for sharing, Dr. Sophronia. And that's so important, taking care of self first so that you do have the capacity to take care of others. And so in my wheel this week, based on my conversation or my epiphany last week in just explaining my wheel, I actually changed some of the categories. And so I'm still considering the holistic self. And now I actually wrote village versus family and friends or extended family. And I have mental health maintenance and I have gratitude in my wheel. And those are the things that are important to me this time around. And so that's creating a rounder connection, still having some flatter sides though. So it's less of an eggish like shape this time around, but it's a little more rounder. And so with the self-care wheel, the idea is no matter what number you are, to try to be as round or as curvy as possible, to give you a visual of where some parts of your life are pulling you in one direction, pulling you so much that now you're actually becoming unbalanced. And so you take a risk of falling over or having something that's really out of sync. And so if you think about your self-care wheel and completing it, you really want a healthy imbalance. I've never had one that was completely balanced where I had a perfect circle. I've never met anybody who's had a perfect circle. And so that's why I stress the importance of having grace with yourself and having the imbalance versus thinking about balance where everything is equal and you have this perfect shape. And so I wanted to pose this question. Last time we met, we focused on what is something that you wanted to work on or something that you wanted to continue doing based on your will. And I would like to pose that question again with the added part of were you able to actually do that? But did you achieve your goal or what you said you were going to do? Right now, we'll start with Dr. Sophronia.
So thank you. I chuckle a little bit because I said I was going to start to work on relationships and nurturing those relationships. And from this wheel, yes, I did. I nurtured those relationships, but it was at my own expense. So I have to try to get back to where I can still feel complete, or not complete, but still full. So I did bring up the relationships. I brought up my scale on the nurturing relationship side, and it went down a little bit on the self-care side. So now looking at both wheels and comparing them together, I now see that I have to do a little bit more, which may mean that I need to decrease all of my activities a little bit more until I can find that perfect or that imbalance that I'm looking for before I can start to back increasing my will a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is possibly just really focus on putting timetables. And I know I don't like strict timetables, but I try to put some timetables that I am managing my self-care as well as I'm pouring out of myself. So maybe I need to go back to, going to bed early, or just taking time to meditate at night for a little bit, or just to pray, or to do something that I enjoy for at least an hour so that I can feel fulfilled on that rejuvenation aspect of my will.
Thank you so much for that, Dr. Petronia. And Dr. Riaja, want to jump in?
Sure. So the last time we spoke, the thing that I wanted to work on was just giving my brain a break. And just, having moments where I'm just not trying to think and figure things out, but just be in the moment, be present in the moment, enjoy what's going on. And I found that, so I started a garden. It's been about a month now, and I'm super excited about it. And I found that when I'm working in my garden, or even just sitting out there amongst all of the foliage, that is where I can just literally just allow myself to be present in the moment, enjoy, what's growing, and I'm just super excited about that. So that I've done that a couple of times over the past week or so, and that has definitely helped. But I do feel like I need to also incorporate that, just like mini breaks, mini as in MINI, mini breaks throughout the day while I'm at work, just allow myself to decompress and relax. So that's something that I'm thinking that I also need to incorporate.
Thank you. Yes, relaxation. Again, self-care has to be top notch so that communal care can be top notch. And for me, I believe that I was talking about water aerobics and getting back into the pool. And so I was able to accomplish that. One of the things that I had to change was wanting to go to every single class, because I hadn't been in so long. I was just super excited. And so I had to give myself grace that I could not go to every single class, and just be okay with the classes that I actually could attend. And the ones that I could attend, I made the most out of it. And so instead of pushing myself to be perfect at it, right? I just eased into it, and I'm okay with that. My body was okay with that. I'm a little sore, so I need to make sure that I continue to do it. But it was just so rejuvenating, actually getting in that water and really exercising and moving muscles and reminding myself that, hey, these limbs actually move in this way. And so, just sitting at home and doing things virtually really put me in a state where I haven't been able to move a whole lot. And so being in that water and pushing myself, whereas on land, I probably couldn't push myself that much, but in water, I really pushed myself to do everything the best of my ability. And it was just a fabulous experience. So thank you so much for sharing and for completing another self-care wheel, so that our family out there can see what it's like, and hopefully other people have completed a self-care wheel. And again, we would love to hear your results of your self-care wheel. So if you complete a self-care wheel, just put it in the comments, just your perception, your perspective on your self-care wheel, and what's one thing that you want to shift, one thing that, or one thing that you want to keep the same that's going well for you. So until next time, sending you light, love, and positive energy. And remember to proceed in power.
Proceed in power.
Proceed in power.
Thank you for being with us. We're sending you love, light, and positive energy. And remember to proceed in power.